you encounter any technical issues related to this baseball game broadcast, please call our trouble hotline at 573-893-7477. Mark 4 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Your next time cue will come with 3 minutes until airtime on the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Mark 3 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Your next time cue will come with 2 minutes until airtime on the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Your next time cue will come with 2 minutes until airtime. Stations, if you encounter any technical issues related to this live show broadcast, please call our trouble hotline at 573-893-7477. Mark 2 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Studio producers, when you hear, please start your archive recording. Your next time cue will come with 1 minute until airtime for today's live show broadcast on the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Stations, we are coming up on 1 minute until airtime. 1 minute in 5, 4, 3, 2, Mark. 1 minute, stations. 1 minute until airtime for this live show broadcast. Studios, when you hear, please start your archive recording. Coming up on 30 seconds until airtime, on my mark. Mark, 30 seconds. Your next and final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds. Have fun.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Georgia Southern Sports Network. On the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield, presented by Morris Bank, this is Hail Southern Live.
Glory to God and a bunch of great kids. Is college football not the best thing on earth?
Live at Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. Hot wings, cold beer, and good times. Coming up, your all-access pass into Georgia Southern athletics, including a visit with head football coach Clay Helton.
Georgia Southern is championships. That's what this place was founded on. And the expectation and the standard each and every year is to compete and win championships.
Hail Southern Live is brought to you by Morris Bank. Bleed blue, bank blue. Morris Bank, member FDIC. The Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. And by Savannah Hilton Head International Airport and the Savannah Airport Commission. Make sure to tweet your questions to @GS Sports Network. Now let's head live inside Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. Here's the voice of the Eagles, Danny Reed.
Eagle Nation, it is great to see you again one more time back at Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. This is Hail Southern Live, presented each week by Morris Bank on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield. Hope everybody enjoyed the football off week. Eagles are back on the road this weekend for a biggie up in Harrisonburg, Virginia. First time in 32 years visiting the James Madison Dukes. That'll be a noon kick on ESPN2. Our coverage begins at 10 a.m. with the Cutwater Spirits Tailgate Show across the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield. Head coach Clay Helton will join us tonight, as will redshirt junior defensive back T.J. Smith. But for the next 10 minutes or so, we're talking Georgia Southern softball in the middle of fall practice. Got some Blue-White World Series, some scrimmages have taken place, and there's a lot of newness on the upcoming staff. To more on that, please welcome in head softball coach entering year 3, Sharon Perkins, to Wild Wing Cafe.
Thanks for having me.
We were just talking about that. Third year already in Statesboro. I know you've been at Tech. I know you've been at that school up in Athens. But third year here, what has developed over these last couple of seasons for you in the program?
More gray hair for me. That's probably the start. That and more pounds. I don't really know. But that's just, getting old. We got some good kids coming in. We've got like eight newbies. We got 6 freshmen. Couple pitchers, couple infielders, couple outfielders, and 2 catcher transfer kids. So excited. Mixing with the older kids.
Every team takes on its own composition, its own personality, its own chemistry. But in the time that you've spent with this group, what really sticks out?
They're just more fun every year, I feel like. And I don't know if it's they just know they can, like, jump scare me or come steal the candy out of the office or – I don't know, like make me laugh different ways and whatever, just pick at me. But, yeah, they're just more and more fun. I think they're just we kind of get to know each other every year. So.
Well, wait a minute. What kind of candy are you rocking in the office?
Oh, anything. I'll spend like $40 every, 2 weeks. And there's a big bowl, and people will just come in and just grab. They're like, we're just here for candy. That's fine. But you got to, some of the other athletes will come in. It's a lot of fun. It's good. M&M's, it depends who it is because we have different – admins that like different types of candy and different players like different things, and they're super picky. Yeah.
How has your candy budget grown over the years?
No, that's just out of my pocket.
Oh, that's
a Perkins budget. Yeah, but hey, it's worth it.
All right, give me an example of an admin and their candy tastes.
Oh, look, Brian Johnston. It's the peanut butter M&Ms. So when I get the $15 bag of all the different types of M&Ms. You can only get it in that bag.
Right.
So I don't put those out. I keep them up in my cabinet in my office. So when he comes in, he goes, "Hey, I need my meds." So I give him his double dose today because it was a Monday. Yeah.
All right, you mentioned how much fun this group is. I can tell how much fun you've enjoyed being around them.
Right.
But as far as the amount of energy they bring to the field and the culture you're trying to instill, how has that process gone?
It's been great. I feel like year 1, they're trying to get to know us. They went to a bunch of coaching changes. We're trying to just learn them. And then over the years, just having individual meetings with them on and off the field, just those types of things, just getting to know everybody. So it's good. It's like they know when we need to be serious, when we're business, and they know when, okay, we can lighten it up a little bit, and then you're still going to be able to handle your stuff. So.
We just mentioned there's some newness with your staff,
right.
Strength and conditioning, new hitting coach, also with Sutton taking on a new role this year, going from
She's a big girl now.
She is a big girl now, but being able to change up some roles, what have you noticed from that respect?
It's pretty awesome. I mean, Mary Beth's there. Mary Beth's probably my caretaker. Mary Beth takes on a big role of making sure I get all my stuff done. She's awesome. So she might be out for a couple days once she has baby number 2 here in January. So I'm sure she won't take a lot of time off because she's like our workhorse.
Yeah.
But no, it's great. Jake's been awesome. Jake's been working with hitting, totally from the baseball side of things. So learning a little bit of some of the softball stuff, a little bit of the newness and the speed of the game and things like that. He's been learning along the way, but he's a sponge. He's been awesome. He brings a lot of energy for the players. And then Sutton's just been great. Now Sutton's not a GA. She's more in a coaching role, so she's allowed to coach. So it's been good. She's working with catchers and outfielders, and so that's been awesome too.
Last couple of weekends, you've had a chance to see what your team is like on the field with South Carolina, with Duke, also with Augusta. Specifically in the fall, now that the NCAA relaxed some rules and gave you a chance to play some games out of season, what do you look for?
Probably just improvement. Just making sure that the same things that we're practicing every day, that they're taking that to a game. And it's not as easy when you're playing a Duke or a South Carolina in that environment.
Yeah.
And it's not like it was in, how it would be in the spring, but it's still a big stadium, that feels like it's all on top of you. But it's pretty cool. They get to play in front of their parents and, friends, things like that. So it's been pretty awesome to see. And everybody's playing a certain number of innings and things like that. So everybody's getting game time.
You've also got the Blue-White World Series. You're going to be finishing that within the next 6 days or so. What do you guys play for? I know what baseball plays for year in, year out, but what does softball do?
We're kind of going back and forth. I don't really know what they're deciding. I don't know.
Let them pick the candy?
Oh, they know they're getting the candy. So, yeah, it's got to be something bigger than that. I don't know. They seem to like ice cream and snowballs and things like that. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, we're branching off a little bit. What's your ice cream of choice?
Mint chocolate chip. Is there another kind?
There's a lot of other kinds.
That's the best. I'll eat some other kinds, but mint chocolate chip, hands down. Not even close.
All right, do you have you have a freezer in the offices so you can handle that too, or?
I have a freezer. Here's.
Because you can't just put that in the cabinet with next to the M&Ms. You can't.
But look, there's Andes mints in there. There's some Snicker bars in there. Reese's cups in the freezer. So if that's your if that's your go-to, there's some in the freezer of that too.
All right, specifically
it's terrible, isn't it? I know.
Just awful.
This is why I drink the Diet Cokes and all that. I feel like it offsets it somehow. Does it not?
It has to, right?
It hasn't, but maybe. I don't know. Maybe it would be worse. I don't know.
All right, specifically with this being your third year, you're always looking for that improvement that you spoke of a little bit earlier. But for this squad, with as challenging as this conference has become, what areas need improvement?
I mean, everything, really. I mean, we got a lot better defensively last year. We'll still see some improvement with some kids that we brought in this year. Hitting, just some power numbers offensively. We had to go to kind of like situational hitting, moving runners, sack bunts, things like that, which we still need to do some of that, but I think we're adding some power to the lineup again, a little bit more speed to the lineup. But pitching, we got two more freshman pitchers this year to add to the mix, so that'll be nice too. And they're all a little bit different. So changing speeds and things like that, yeah.
How creative can you be offensively?
There's a lot of things you can do. You can put a lot of runners in motion if you need to, things like that. Depends on the speed of the pitcher that you're facing a lot of times to see if you can put runners in motion. But, yeah, there's a lot you can do. Drag bunt, sack bunt, whatever. Putting the ball in play.
Something we ask every coach that we have on now that this has become a thing the last 3 months. The Eagle Nation Collective has done so much for our 430-plus student athletes. From a softball perspective, what has an NIL collective meant to your program?
Anytime, we can get something there for the kids is great, right? So, we also have the booster club that we started.
Diamond Club.
Yep, Diamond Club that comes to us, and it's a way for people to join. Parents are always asking how they can help out. Fans are asking. So that and the collective that Leonard Bevel's been great with, it's pretty awesome for us to – you don't see a lot of programs doing that at our level. So it's pretty awesome to have anything like that out there that's going to help the student athletes.
All right, how will you be spending these next few months before the season begins in February?
Oh, my gosh. Just more gameplay. Like we have a couple more weeks of team time. So just really facing pitchers and working on hitting, breaking balls, things like that. Just all kinds of different pitches, and the pitchers, just having live batters going off of them. Super important. But we have noticed a big difference. Taylor Putz, you mentioned earlier, our new strength and conditioning coach. Taylor's been awesome. Taylor actually played at North Carolina when my daughter was at North Carolina before she graduated and came over. So she's been awesome. The players seem to love her. You can tell a difference with them getting stronger, faster and stronger. So that's been pretty awesome too.
All right. before we finish up, we need a candy power rankings from you. We need your top 5 candies.
Okay.
Only 5.
Only 5?
Only got an hour long.
Oh, my gosh. Depends how hungry I am. Okay. Gosh. Okay, let's go Reese's Cups. Snickers. Andes.
2 more. Think carefully.
Okay. It depends on road trips. If it's a road trip or just in the there's different mentality.
All right, wherever your mind is right
Let's
now.
go Twizzlers.
Okay.
And you know what? Snow caps. You have to throw them in the mix.
About time you said snow caps.
So that's one of yours?
I'm just.
Oh, I thought you were really.
I'll give
telling
that
me.
to you. I'll give that to you.
Nobody. I don't even know how that hit my mind there. Usually it's a movie theater only thing, you know.
That'd probably be the last time I had them was when we went to the movies. It's been a while.
You got to get out more.
I know. They're not the first person that said that.
Okay.
Perk, I always enjoy getting a chance to speak with you. Enjoy the rest of the fall, and we'll talk again before the spring, okay?
Thanks. I appreciate it.
That's head softball coach Sharon Perkins talking Eagle football after the timeout. Head coach Clay Helton upstage. Georgia Southern JMU this weekend. It's a biggie in Harrisonburg. We'll talk about that in a moment on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield.
Eagle Nation, this is William Martin from Southern Exchange Company. We're proud to always bring you the best selection of Georgia Southern gear for game day and every day. Make sure to stop by and visit us at our store across from campus on Chandler Road or online at southernexchangecompany.com. Follow Southern Exchange on social media at SXC Statesboro for the latest gear in stock. Southern Exchange Company, the official merchandiser of Georgia Southern Athletics.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The sweet smell of victory and grilled burgers still hang in the air. Your tailgate was a big win thanks to your Ford F-150 truck. With available Pro Power on board, you used your F-150 as a mobile generator. That kept the celebration going long after the final whistle. See your local Ford dealer and score a great offer on F-150. Greatness starts here. See owner's manual for important operating instructions.
Football time, which turns Sunday and Thursday into the best days of the week. Well, they just got better because now through October 29th, Keno has 30% higher payouts during bonus hours. Win $500, it becomes $650. The bonus hours are Sunday 1 to 3 p.m. and Thursday 6 to 8 p.m. So play Keno online and anywhere Keno is sold and get 30% higher payouts during bonus hours. Sundays 1 to 3 p.m. and Thursdays 6 to 8 p.m. Only from the Georgia Lottery. Play responsibly.
It's a Thursday night blue out at Paulson Stadium as your Georgia Southern Eagles play host to the Georgia State Panthers at 7:30 p.m. on October 26th. Call 1-800-GSU-WINS or visit gseagles.com/tickets. Watch the blue and white inside the prettiest little stadium in America. It's the first ever Thursday night matchup between the Eagles and the Panthers. October 26th, 7:30 kickoff. Visit gseagles.com/tickets to get yours or call 1-800-GSU-WINS. Eagle Nation, tune in to Inside Georgia Southern Football each Monday, 11 a.m. on ESPN Plus, and watch locally on WJCL Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Our weekly 30-minute dive into Eagle football features head coach Clay Helton looking back at the week before and previewing the week ahead. It's football season, and your inside look is each Monday, 11 a.m. on ESPN Plus and Saturdays at 11:30 on WJCL. Inside Georgia Southern Football with head coach Clay Helton. Don't miss it.
The passion.
He's going to take it to the house. Dinner's cooking. Touchdown.
The fury.
Getting blitzed. Down he goes.
The speed.
By 40, there he goes. Down the sideline.
Western College football.
For the end zone. Got it for 6 points. You can unhitch the wagon. Put the ponies in the barn. Back to the end zone. 30, 20.
This is the College Football Bliss. Listen all season long on College Sports Now on the Varsity Network.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
White out of the backfield, first time we've seen it tonight. McCall to throw, and it's picked off. Deflected, intercepted, Condre Jackson. 15, 10, 5, Wings up, Eagle Nation. Touchdown, Georgia Southern. Boom. Part of a 17-0 spurt for Georgia Southern during the third quarter that helped the Eagles to a 38-28 victory over Coastal Carolina Saturday before last. Georgia Southern is 4-1 and 1-0 in conference play for the first time since 2018, and it is a biggie this weekend. Bridgeforth Stadium, Harrisonburg, Virginia. Noon kickoff between Georgia Southern and James Madison. We are live at 10 a.m. with the Cutwater Spirits tailgate show from the Shenandoah Valley. To talk about that, it's Eagle football for the rest of the episode. Please welcome in head coach Clay Helton to Wild Wing Cafe. Good to see you back in the chair. Always nice to be with you on a Monday night at Wild Wing.
Good to see you, Danny.
You were in Macon last week for the Touchdown Club, is that right?
I was. Got to drive, took that Monday, drove up to Macon, be a part of the Touchdown Club, and honor some high school football teams, as well as see one of the great legacies in Georgia high school, which is the Macon Touchdown Club. I love how they honor our sport and the tradition that it comes with it. It was a very entertaining and fun night.
Now, this is year 29 for you in coaching, so you've had a lot of experience with not only how to build a team, but also in the rhythm of a season, how to construct a bye week. With the needs of this team, how did you make sure to build this bye week so you got the most out of it?
Yeah, we accomplished a couple things. One, we needed recovery. You know, you go 9 straight weeks, 4 weeks of training camp, 5 really hard-fought football games. You got to be able to recover the body and put something back in it. So the first thing is we got right back with Bobby Steiner and got in the weight room, got our strength and conditioning program really ramped up for the week. The second thing is we tried to advance some of our younger players that we really feel that will need as far as depth for November, and advance them and gave them a little bit extra work. And then we took the week and really honed into game planning for James Madison and advancing and taking advantage of the off week, because James Madison's off too.
Yeah.
And so both schools are going to try to get a couple days ahead on their next opponent. And so we went ahead and were very progressive in that, not only with our base game plan, but some specialty situations, third down, red zone. So our guys are, this isn't your typical Tuesday practice tomorrow. They've got probably about 85 to 90% of the game plan already in.
It's a constant discussion about how to build depth, and I think it was back in 2018, the NCAA said you could play up to 4 games and still get a red shirt at this time of the year. You can look at maybe some of those guys, whether they're freshmen or not, to figure out, okay, can we red shirt you? Do we need to utilize you a little bit more? How was that examined over the last week?
Yeah, definitely. What a great example last week with Elijah Walton.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you have Bo Johnson down. You got Keaton with a little bit of injury that still was able to give us 26 great plays, but we were a little beat up at that position. And so we used Elijah, and all of a sudden he gave us a half dozen plays, made a big catch in the game, almost came down with a touchdown.
I know.
Was about that close to really celebrating as a freshman. But, it's those type – you have to be able to groom everybody, because you don't know when that time's going to come. Think about last year at App State, Tyler Jordan, T.D. Dixon, Ezra, Archie. You look at those guys that you don't know when it's going to happen for them. You've got to continue to progress everybody on your football team, because you may look up and their number's called, and it's your job as a coach to prepare them for that opportunity.
What kind of self-scouting did you guys also engage in?
Yeah, it was a lot towards our tendencies, and what the other opponent. You're going so fast and hard during those 5 games of just, looking at your opponent's tendencies, that this is a chance to catch your breath and be able to look at your own. What are you at a certain formations or certain personnel groupings? Where are you leaning towards? What are you on P and 10? What are you on first and 10? What are we doing on 3rd and 3 to 6? So you're able to look at every specialty situation that a defense is looking for, and the other way, what is an offense looking at our defense? What are our tendencies? So it's a great week to overhaul a lot of things, and we took full advantage of it.
And while the coaches are out recruiting and trying to build for the future, the team is getting involved in some community service projects through Apex last weekend, getting a chance to handle both areas.
Yeah, I was so proud of our football team. The entire roster signed up and went out to give back to the community. The community's given so much to us. We wanted to give back. That's part of our platform and our opportunity as student athletes is to help others. And it was just so neat to be able to see the pictures come in of them, whether it was Habitat for Humanity or nursing homes or schools or cleanups. They gave back, and so that was really, really neat. Plus, you talked about recruiting and how important that is as our lifeline to be out on a Thursday, those Thursday night games, Friday night games, to be in those high schools, all eligible coaches were out. Basically all 11 of us were at games Thursday and Friday, so it was a great productive bye week.
I want to get back to that idea of community that you just spoke about, because the timing of the bye week is something we spoke about this morning on Inside Georgia Southern Football on ESPN+. But the fact that you were able to give back the week after the community showed up for you to the tune of 26,483 to break the attendance record at Paulson probably made it mean a little bit more.
Yeah, we can't thank Eagle Nation enough and our community. I mean, there was, like our players, when we talked about going in that game, there were going to be people in those stands. That's the first time they've ever seen an Eagle football game. Whether you're a kid, whether you're an adult, they got to see our brand of football, and they got to see, our football team and how it's produced, and they got to see how special Paulson Stadium is and how special Eagle Nation is and the direction that we're headed and progressing to. And so, we probably made a lot of new Eagle fans that night. And credit to Jared and the whole marketing team. Just a stellar night on national TV to show what we're trying to build as a brand.
Folks, if you saw it on social media, 3-game mini plan is now available. You can get reduced price tickets for ULM, Georgia State. Remember, those are 2 home games in a 6-day span, and then the regular season home finale against Old Dominion coming up on November the 18th. Go to gseagles.com/tickets or call 1-800-GSU-WINS. Before we hit the break, I've got to ask you about something. End of the third quarter, before the fourth. Blue drapes the stadium. Cell phone flashlights are going on everywhere. I know what we thought it looked like up in the booth, but to be on the field, look around, and see and feel that, describe it.
Awe-inspiring, jaw-dropping, to be honest with you. You work so hard as student athletes and coaches, and you see something that special that the community gives you. It makes you fight even harder.
Yeah.
And don't think it doesn't help against your opponent. It helps in recruiting on national TV. The number of recruits that contacted us after that game that were like, Coach, that was unbelievable to be able to see that. It's just different. It means more here in Statesboro, Georgia. And Statesboro, Georgia put its best foot forward, and it was really neat to see.
Hail Southern Live is brought to you each week by our friends at Morris Bank. Morris Bank, it pays to bank blue. We'll talk more about the victory over Coastal Carolina, preview James Madison, and a little bit later on we'll hear from redshirt junior defensive back T.J. Smith. We're at Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro for Hail Southern Live on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield.
Your cargo transportation choice in Savannah and the Southeast. For freight management, consolidation, warehousing, and more, including flexible and responsive drayage solutions. Your success is our final destination. Savannah Logistics Group.
A logistics company that strives to deliver the best drivers, employees, and customer experience through our core values of empowerment, innovation, and consistency. Savannah Logistics Group, a proud supporter of Georgia Southern Athletics.
On game day, success starts with a great game plan. No matter if you're at home or on the road, greatness starts here with the Ford F-150 truck. Delivering a rare combination of power and smart technology like the available class exclusive Pro Power onboard. Ford F-150 helps make great things possible. See your local Ford dealer and score a great offer on F-150. See owner's manual for important operating instructions. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds. GVWR.
Yellowwood knows that a 5-star backyard is the place to make lasting memories. Like cookouts. Cornhole with friends. Ooh, a neighborhood potluck with your wife's pasta salad. The one with the feta. Oh, sorry. Or taking a nap on your deck in a hammock. Naps or memories? I love naps. For 5-star backyards and the most memorable experiences, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
What's up, fans? This is Roddy Jones, co-host of College Sports Now. We're breaking down all the action from around the country weekly with new episodes dropping 4 days a week during the football season. We'll look beyond the box score and keep our finger on the pulse of college football from September all the way to the national championship game in January, from the East Coast to the West Coast. Listen all season long on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you love to get your podcasts. And while you're at it, be sure to give us a follow along on Twitter at CSNowTweets.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the 2023-24 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite school or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. That's thedirectorscup.com and L Directors Cup on Twitter. Trophies will be awarded in June 2024 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Hey Eagle fans, this is Jared Benko. Renew your basketball season tickets today to watch Charlie Henry's first season leading the Eagles. Prices start at $100 for general admission and $150 for upper reserve. Reserve yours by calling 1-800-GSU-WINS or visit gseagles.com/tickets. Parking passes this season are also available to Earth Russell Fund donors for $100. Experience Georgia Southern basketball in its final full season at Hanner Fieldhouse. Renew your season tickets today. 1-800-GSU-WINS or gseagles.com/tickets.
This is Hail Southern Live, powered by Learfield, live at Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. Here's Danny Reed.
Hail Southern Live continues from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield, brought to you in part each week by Georgia Power. Georgia Power, a Southern company. Recapping the bye week with head coach Clay Helton. Also going to take a look back at that Coastal Carolina win from the Saturday before in front of a Paulson Stadium record, 26,483 fans. Yeah. An experience like we've never seen before. We hope it's only the beginning of experiences for the rest of this season and beyond. Eagles got to 4-1 and 1-0 in conference play. Of course, James Madison is coming up on Saturday. If you have any questions, you can send those in on X. You can also submit those on Facebook Live. Coach, to think about not just the atmosphere, the energy, the excitement, the crowd. There was a football game that got played the Saturday before last, and it was a classic. Coastal jumped out a couple of different times. Your guys stuck with it. Davis was terrific. Got a chance to feed the offensive line again upstairs earlier tonight at Wild Wing. But just to see how complete the effort was, really pleasing to see all those people get treated to a game like that.
Yeah, definitely. It was, you know, we always talk about it's not the hype of the game. It's the preparation that goes into it and the execution that goes into it. And our kids had prepared so well that week, just like they do every week. But they really took it to the park. You know, we talked about there was going to be distractions all over the place when you come into an electric stadium like that. We had faced that, you know, within Wisconsin. We faced that in our own stadium. But they had that electricity, not let the distraction get to them, but just focus on the execution and really in some key areas. I thought in that game, being able to get 4 turnovers, not giving up any. That's 6 turnovers to 0 turnovers the last 2 games. The third down efficiency, both offensively and defensively, was off the chart. And then stealing a possession, you know, with Alex on the fake punt, you know, to be able to do that and then complement that with a touchdown right after it, those were key moments in the game. And that's what it takes to knock off the team that played for the conference title last year from the East. If you want to play for a championship, that's where you start. And we were able to beat a good Coastal Carolina team, and now we got to go take the next step to go up to JMU.
All right, since you brought it up, we've talked about it a couple of times, but when Alex decided that taking off was going to be better than punting the football, what is his head coach's reaction when he's got the game in his hands?
Well, you hope you hope as a head coach. We always tell our guys, make full speed decisions and live with it. Believe what you see and go with it. And you know, in Alex's credit, as he rolled to the left, there was 30 yards worth of grass, and he got 18 yards of that grass and got a first down. You know, so initially you say, "Oh my goodness, what's going on?" And then you go, "Hey, you know what? What a great decision!" And big time players make big time plays. And Alex, in that moment, made a full speed decision, knew he had it, and took advantage of it.
earlier today on Inside Georgia Southern Football, we brought up the point that of the 4 interceptions that Grayson McCall threw by 4 different guys. And you could go back even more because you forced 10 turnovers this year. It's been by 10 different players.
Yeah.
To know that you've got that kind of ability, that spread out ability throughout everybody that plays defense, how much more have you gotten out of that unit?
Well, we've worked so hard at it, and credit to Brandon Bailey and the defensive staff. You know, the amount of work in our turnover circuits that we've done to be able to get the ball out, and the amount of catching that our DBs and linebackers and everybody does pre-practice, post-practice, within drills. We've really improved our skill set as an entire team. You always figure, oh, yeah, wideouts and tight ends catching the ball, but you change games by linebackers and DBs catching those opportunities. There was 4 opportunities to make interceptions in that game. We made all 4 of them by 4 different guys. That's a lot of work and investment that goes into it.
On the outside, where we spend time talking about what this program has developed, and you look at national television yesterday in the NFL, the 4 o'clock game, you've got the Vikings going against the Chiefs. That's Najee Thompson going against Jerick McKinnon. And then earlier in the day, Younghoe Koo just makes another game-winning field goal. It's become an old hat at this point. But the fact that it was also on Georgia Southern Alumni Day up in Atlanta, that's a pretty special thing to be able to talk about all that.
Yeah, our brand, when you talk about over the first 5 weeks of college football, to be able to accomplish both what we've done on our own, with our own team, as well as some great alumni and what they're doing, that brand is spreading and spreading fast. To be back-to-back weeks, to be chosen by ESPN, to be on ESPN2 for the 12 noon game. You got Alabama, Arkansas, and you got JMU and Georgia Southern. Those are the 2 premier games at 12 noon for ESPN. So that's what you want. That's why you come to Georgia Southern, to put yourself on a national stage, to play in big games not only within this conference, but within non-conference games too. And so we've continued to build to where we want to be a national brand that is talked about in a national perspective. So when this does go to a 12-team playoff and you do your job, that you're going, I know that brand. They have a resume that's hard to beat. Not only winning conference championships, but doing special things outside their conference also.
Everybody was so bought in for a couple of weeks for making sure the Paulson experience against Coastal was maybe the best that the facility had ever seen outside of a national championship game, to set the record, to get the win, to stay on national television. I know it's come up over the last week or so. How were you going to capitalize on what you created? Where were you going to go from here? How was that going to become the norm instead of the exception? And to be on ESPN2 this Saturday at noon, right after College game day, that's compelling.
Yeah, definitely. That win, that victory over Coastal Carolina was big in a lot of facets.
Yeah.
When you're 1-0 on the week, you continue being in contention for a conference championship. You put yourself in the position you want to be. But when you're on a national spotlight and your fans do what they did, and to be able to hear them, you watch that TV copy and you're hearing Georgia Southern, and it's echoing. It shows to recruits, man, that is a big-time stage. That is, I can go to Statesboro, Georgia, get an unbelievable academic education, play big-time football, being on a winning football team, and celebrated by a community. Those things just trigger other things. They give you the opportunity to continue to build on a national program, on a national stage.
To be 4-1, 1-0 in conference play, where the bye week was positioned, we didn't get a chance to bring this up earlier today on ESPN+. But we know that JMU is this Saturday, but then after that it's homecoming, and then, oh, by the way, the following Thursday it's a rivalry game against Georgia State. So you're going to enter a stretch of 3 games in 12 days. So getting that extra time to get the engine recharged, it could be beneficial there as well.
Oh, definitely. And we had the bumps and bruises. Not really major injuries other than Cam's with the thumb.
Yeah.
But we had a bunch of shoulders and ankles and thigh bruises and things that come when you're playing the most fastest, violent sport in the world. And that recovery couldn't have come at a better time, position right in the middle of the season. Sometimes you get it on the front end, sometimes you get it on the back end.
Yeah.
We needed it right at this period of time. And now to be able to see those kids come out early week, come out yesterday and really look fresh, look fast, look mentally fresh also, it was good to see as a head coach.
The journey continues the rest of the week and Saturday for Georgia Southern football. Game number 6, looking to take maybe full control of the East Division. It's a noon kick in Harrisonburg at Bridgeforth Stadium. We're live at 10 a.m. with the Cutwater Spirits Tailgate Show. Georgia Southern against the last unbeaten team of the conference, 5-0 James Madison. We'll talk with Coach Helton one more time as we close things out in a few minutes. But up next, it's redshirt junior defensive back T.J. Smith. That's after the timeout. Hail Southern live from Wild Wing Cafe on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield.
Did you know that Yancey Rents is a Georgia-owned rental company serving Georgia since 1914? Yancey Rents has excavators, dozers, backhoe loaders, small dump trucks, water trucks, concrete saws, light towers, scissor lifts, and so much more. We've got a huge selection of equipment ready to be rented today. Call 844-YNC-RENT or check us out at yanceyrents.com. With 16 locations around the state and a new expanded lineup of equipment ready to be rented right now, Yancey Rents wants to be your preferred rental supplier in Georgia.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Don't let an injury keep you on the sidelines. So go where the pros go. Optum Orthopedics. They're the official orthopedics and team physicians for Georgia Southern Athletics. Thanks to Optum, our Eagles get the best care on and off the field. The good news is that Optum is here for you too. Located in our community, Optum is the leader in advanced orthopedic care throughout the Southeast. Like the Eagles, you deserve the freedom to soar. With Optum's fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons, you will. Your team, your community, your freedom. Optum Orthopedics, they're here for you.
Eagle Nation, we'd love to see you back at Paulson, this time for back-to-back games in 6 days. Join us for homecoming versus ULM, 2 p.m. Saturday the 21st, then Thursday the 26th at 7:30 as the Eagles battle Georgia State. Call 1-800-GSU-WINS or visit gseagles.com/tickets. Watch the blue and white inside the prettiest little stadium in America. That's ULM for homecoming Saturday the 21st at 2 p.m., then Georgia State Thursday the 26th at 7:30. gseagles.com/tickets to get yours or call 1-800-GSU-WINS.
Wild Wing, I think I love you. Hey, Eagle Nation, this is Terry Harlan from the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro is your true blue home for hot wings, cold beer, and good times. Owned and operated by a proud Georgia Southern grad, Wild Wing Cafe is the official home of Hail Southern Live, the Eagles' weekly sports show every Monday night starting at 7 p.m. Whether it's for lunch, dinner, catering, or takeouts, you'll say the same thing I do every time. Wild Wing, I think I love you. Go Eagles and go Wild Wing.
Hi, this is former quarterback Kyle Van Treese. Name, image, and likeness, or NIL in college sports is here to stay. We have the opportunity to be one of the leaders in our conference and in the group of 5. To keep our championship standard and stay ahead of the rest, we must keep our best players and recruit the best as well. Thanks to the new Eagle Nation Collective, we're in a great position to do just that, but we can't do it without your support. Please help by becoming a member of the Eagle Nation Collective today. Sign up online at eaglenationnil.com and receive exclusive access to our student athletes that you can't get anywhere else. Join the Eagle Nation Collective at eaglenationnil.com.
Hey Eagle fans, this is Jared Benko. Renew your basketball season tickets today to watch Charlie Henry's first season leading the Eagles. Prices start at $100 for general admission and $150 for upper reserve. Reserve yours by calling 1-800-GSU-WINS or visit gseagles.com/tickets. Parking passes this season are also available to Erk Russell Fund donors for $100. Experience Georgia Southern basketball in its final full season at Hanner Fieldhouse. Renew your season tickets today. 1-800-GSU-WINS or gseagles.com/tickets.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the 2023-24 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite school or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. That's thedirectorscup.com and L Directors Cup on Twitter. Trophies will be awarded in June 2024 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Smith runs ahead. He could go for this. Smith's going to run. Smith on the left sideline, 30, 35. He runs out of bounds with a first down.
Wow.
Oh, Aussie. Oi. Move the chains.
I just want to know if that was called or he just...
I don't know if that was not called. He just took off on his own because there was nobody on the left sideline. Eagle Nation, will we tell the story of the 2023 season? That play is going to be near the top of the list. Alex Smith's 18-yard run on a 4th and 15 fake punt got the Eagles back in the game en route to a 38-28 win over the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers Saturday before last to get to 4-1 overall, 1-0 in conference play. It sets up a biggie this Saturday in the Shenandoah Valley. It's Georgia Southern and James Madison, the last unbeaten team in the league, one of only 14 unbeaten teams in the country. They're 5-0, just outside the top 25. Noon kickoff from Bridgeforth Stadium. We're live at 10 a.m. with the Cutwater Spirits Tailgate Show. Talk more about that. One of the newbies, but he's quickly become a member of Eagle Nation. Give it up for redshirt junior defensive back T.J. Smith. I know we were able to take you away from Kansas State, but you're a Georgia boy, McEachern High School, to be back in the state. We talked about this during camp, but how cool has it been being back in the state of Georgia?
Man, it's unmatched. It's nothing better. I couldn't imagine it being no other way. I remember coming out of high school, I said I didn't even want to stay in Georgia, but it's honestly been the best thing that could have happened for me in my career, and I could be no thankful than being here and being at Georgia Southern and putting on for this brand and this school.
When you announced your intention to transfer, how did you get hooked up with Georgia Southern from Lawrence? I'm sorry, from Manhattan.
From Manhattan.
The Little Apple.
I honestly knew some of the players, and I got in contact with some of the coaches, and from there we just hit off. I met Coach Helton, and it was everything I needed it to be. So, man, it's been great.
What specifically did meeting him represent for you? Why was it so special?
When I met Coach Helton, I just knew everything he told me was real. You can feel the energy. You can tell he loved his players. He cared more for us than what we did on the football field. And it stayed true since I've been here. He never changed up. He's still the same guy, and he's a stand-up guy to me. I love him to death.
When you've got somebody that's in it for you as a person, what more has it gotten out of you as a player?
It makes you want to play for them more. Like, no doubt, I'll go run through a brick wall for Coach Helton just because I know what he pours into us, and I know, he wants the best for us. And knowing that, it just makes you want to play harder for him every day.
I know what these fans have been able to see during these first 5 games that you've been an Eagle, but we also know what your teammates thought of you going into that first game. You were the first number 0 this year, had the honor of that against the Citadel, and then you put the next victory at Paulson up on the wall when the game was over. To know that you were that highly regarded before you even took the field, how cool was that from your teammates?
Man, it was cool. It's been great to earn the respect from my teammates, and I love all of them. And I told them when I first got here, I'm doing this for y'all, so everything that I do is for them, and that was great to go out there and represent my team.
I know you primarily played at safety this year, but earlier this season also experimented at some nickelback, played really well against UAB, came up with the interception that helped seal that game. To move around like that but still have success, what does it take?
It takes a lot of preparation. My prep is not, I'm not going to say it's tough, but, learning 2 positions during the week is a big task. I'm up for it. I feel like it really shows my versatility, and I'm glad I can even display that. That's big for me.
A part of that defensive staff, you've got Coach Bailey, who went to school here, student assistant here, back at 29 years of age, coordinating the defense. Coach Eubanks was a legend here. Coach Whitley was a legend here. Mm-hmm. To learn from guys that have done it, but they've done it here, what more does that give you?
It means a lot because I know the passion that they bring behind it. They came to school here, so they have a certain pride about it, and I feel like they put that energy on us, and we just carry it on out.
Now, we talked during camp that you played for an Eagle All-American. You played for Franklin Stevens at McEachern, but you didn't even realize that he was at Georgia Southern until after you had gone. But still, the way that he coached, did you feel like he was a Georgia Southern man in the time that you were with him?
That's like you said, I didn't know before, but from being here and, actually going through it myself, I see where Coach Stevens got a lot of his coaching tactics from, and I definitely can tell he's a Georgia Southern man for sure.
You're coming off a career-high 8 tackles against Coastal Carolina in that victory the Saturday before last, and we spoke with Coach Helton earlier just about what that atmosphere was like, the sellout crowd, going into the fourth quarter with the light show and all that. But to be on the field and experience that, how would you describe that?
Man, it was a great feeling. I can't thank the fans enough for coming out and showing out for us. We fed off that energy, and I'm glad we can go out there and get that win for them. We need that every night. I appreciate y'all, Eagle Nation. Let's keep that going. Let's keep that going.
Now, when you have to go on the road this weekend, you're going to be going into someone else's house. It's going to be about 26,000 people. They've already announced it as a whiteout. It's going to be, if not announced by the end of the weekend, it's probably going to be a sellout. But taking that same energy when the crowd is against you, how can you still feed off of that?
we feed off each other. We don't need you feel me, when we go away, we know it's us against everybody else, so we get that energy from each other, and we understand that it's a big game, but we not playing it as a big game. We're going to play this like every other game and prep the same way and go out there and execute.
All right, for people in this room, we don't talk about a school that wears red up in Athens very often, but your brother played there. Your brother's
Yes, sir.
now in the NFL with the Las Vegas Raiders. They're getting set for Monday Night Football here in just a couple of minutes.
Yes, sir.
But what do you most take from him and his experiences that's going to help you now?
Man, I can't even tell you everything I've taken from my brother, but just really his work ethic and his drive. My brother had went through a lot, you know, through his college process, and just to see him be persistent and get through that and get to where he is, you know, that's something that I really take from him the most. But I take everything from my brother. My brother helped me with too many things, you know what I'm saying? So I can't thank him enough.
Now, do you play safety because of him, or did it just work out that way?
It kind of just worked out this way. Because my brother was originally a corner. I was more the safety the safety body, but, you know, it just played out that way.
Did you ever have an opportunity where one of you would go to an offense, you'd have to cover each other?
Nah, we always been on the dark side, defensive side. Defense only.
All right, what other players in the NFL do you look up to?
Man, Tyrann Mathieu. I love Mike Hilton. I love Minka Fitzpatrick. Buda Baker. Yeah. You know, it's my brother. You feel me? I got to add my brother in there. It's a lot of guys. You know, hopefully I can be there one day and be somebody else's favorite player. You know what I'm saying?
What does it take to be a really good defensive back? What do you have to be able to do?
Prep. You got to watch a lot of film so you know what's coming. I feel like you got to have good instincts and great communication. Great communication. That makes it ultimate DB to me.
Now, both teams probably had this game circled because if Georgia Southern handled its business and James Madison did the same, this was going to be a big game regardless. Well, now it is a chance to be first place in the East. Georgia Southern may be able to get some more national attention after what they've already done this season, selling out in front of a nationally televised audience on the NFL Network against Coastal. How are you guys viewing this upcoming road trip, taking on a team that's 5-0?
Like I said, you know, this is a business trip for us. We're not going to look at the game as like, oh, this the biggest game of the year. It's any old game for us, and we're going to go out there and prep like how we should. Of course, we're going to go out there with that intensity just because we're going to do this for us. We're going to pick up the intensity for us as a defense and as a team to just prove ourselves right. And we're going to go out there and handle our business.
How does having a bye week to get ready for James Madison make you even more thirsty to go up there and take on the Dukes?
Man, it was big. I loved the bye week. It was a time to get around family, let my body rest, and just rejuvenate for the second half of the season.
TJ, it's been fun getting a chance to watch you so far this year. Continued success, and we'll look for a big game this Saturday from number 5, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's redshirt junior defensive back TJ Smith. Watch him ball out this weekend in Harrisonburg. We'll talk with head coach Clay Helton to close things out in a moment. It's the Eagles and JMU coming up Saturday at noon. From Wild Wing Cafe, this is Hail Southern Live on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield.
BBWH Insurers, owned and operated by Georgia Southern alumni, has been serving Southeast Georgia since 1888. Our partnerships with quality A-rated carriers such as Central Mutual Insurance Companies provide affordable and comprehensive coverage for your family and business. BBWH Insurers protects and supports our own. That's our true blue promise to you. Call me, Brad Powell, at 912-764-9602 or visit us online at bbwhins.com and go Eagles.
Hello, welcome to another bank. Please just say what you need help with.
Check my balance.
I heard pay a bill. Is that correct?
When you bank at Morris Bank, you won't be greeted with an automated response system or wonder if you're just another account number, because real relationships make community banking better. Morris Bank and Georgia Southern football were built on the same blue-collar mentality. And in Morris Bank, blue isn't just a part of our ad campaign, it's a part of our DNA. Morris Bank is proud to be the season presenting sponsor of Georgia Southern football. Bleed blue, bank blue. Morris Bank, member FDIC.
It's a Thursday night blue out at Paulson Stadium as your Georgia Southern Eagles play host to the Georgia State Panthers at 7:30 p.m. on October 26th. Call 1-800-GSU-WINS or visit gseagles.com/tickets. Watch the blue and white inside the prettiest little stadium in America. It's the first ever Thursday night matchup between the Eagles and the Panthers. October 26th, 7:30 kickoff. Visit gseagles.com/tickets to get yours or call 1-800-GSU-WINS.
Aw, shucks. The game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com for Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
The Eagles fly here.
Intercepted. It's picked off. Condry Jackson to the 30. He outruns Bradley to the 20, to the 10, to the 5. How about that on the second play? Wings up, Eagle Nation. Touchdown, Georgia Southern.
Hail Southern and GATA all season long.
He caught it. He caught it. What a lightning bolt. 79 yards to the Jets.
On the Georgia Southern Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey y'all, this is Michael Felder, co-host of College Sports Now. We're breaking down all the action from around the country every week with new episodes dropping 4 days a week during the football season. We'll look beyond the box score and keep our finger on the pulse of college football from September all the way through the national championship game in January. Listen all season long on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you love to get your favorite podcast. And be sure to follow along on Twitter at CSNowTweets.
Powered by Learfield. Welcome back to Hail Southern Live, presented by Morris Bank. Make sure to tweet your questions to @GS Sports Network. Now, let's return live to Wild Wing Cafe. Once again, here's the voice of the Eagles, Danny Reed.
Wrapping things up this week from Wild Wing Cafe on Hail Southern Live, brought to you by Morris Bank on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield. Another plane ride this Saturday, which Coach Helton means a chance to go to your favorite place of the world, Savannah Hilton Head International Airport.
Oh, Savannah Airport. It's home away from home. It is the best airport in America, I swear. It's so easy, great people, great service, and they take such great care of us.
The official airport of Georgia Southern Athletics. You can visit them online at flysav.com. We mentioned the JMU is just outside the top 25, a 5-0 record for the second straight year. They are 2-0 in conference play, just like Georgia Southern off a bye week. They're at home, and like we mentioned earlier today, not a whole lot of people go to Bridgeforth and win. They are 50-3 at home in the last 7 years.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it reminds us of who we are too. You
Absolutely.
know, you got two great home teams that play great at home, and you know the messaging to the team has got to be, you know, don't get captured in the environment, get captured in the moment, and one play at a time, and be able to try to win that 4 to 6 seconds and keep adding them up against a really quality team at their place that has had a lot of success. And so we look forward to the opportunity and the challenge and the pressure of it. Pressure is always a privilege, and we get that. We don't got to. We get to go play in a big-time college football game.
You know, when you get into a situation like this, you want to make sure you've got as much at your disposal as possible. There's a chance that Georgia Southern may have somebody at their availability this weekend.
Well, you know, we're getting closer. I know we talked about it off air with Sam Kinnerson, and I'm so proud for Sam and how far he's come. You know, you talk about 2 major surgeries on one leg, and you know, when about 4 weeks ago, I literally went up to Sam. I said, "Man, you're looking really good. It's not if you're going to get back, it's just when."
Yeah.
And you could see it. And so he's progressed each and every week. He's getting really close. You know, once he cracks, and once he does enough production to crack the 2 deep, he'll come in and he'll play. He's getting really close to that. We don't have a timetable, don't have a crystal ball on it, but you'll know. And he took a major step forward even yesterday, making low contact, went to the ground, got up and gave a big smile and like, I'm good. So he's gaining confidence by the day, and he may be somebody you look up and you get to those last 4 games and you see him out there helping us. And so excited for him.
What do you need to continue to see to make him available to play?
Well, you know, you have a very talented room. And as much as we love Sam, you have to be able to be productive within that 2 deep if the best man plays.
Right.
And so once he gets to the position where he can be ahead of a number 2 or a number 1, that's when he'll get out there. But what's really neat to see is to see his confidence build, to see his love for the game, and just each and every day being able to get a little bit better and be able to get a little bit more repetition. You know, we've gotten to where he can get 3 days of work without any swelling or regression, you know, and so, you know, he's getting close. He really is. Could be this week, could be next, but when he gives me that look like, yeah, I'm ready, Coach, then he'll be out there.
It would be great if he could go this weekend. Of course, we'll wait till later in the week before that becomes official. But considering that Georgia Southern set the school record for passing yards against JMU last year, it felt appropriate to bring it up. But you almost have to do it that way against the Dukes because they're giving up 1.3 yards a carry this year, 38 yards per game on the ground, by far number one in the country. What makes that front seven so good?
Well, they're so assignment sound, and wherever they line up in, I can promise you it's moving. It moves on the snap. So what you see is not what you're going to get. It is a slant and angle defense. They bring a ton of pressure, a lot of zone pressure, so they keep the ball in front of them. There's not a ton of man coverage out there. They make you go the long way, and they make you execute. They get you behind the chains, and with their pass rushers, they can rush 4 and get there, or they can bring pressure. You know, Coach Signetti has done a wonderful job of bringing in really quality players that fit their system and do it at a high level. And so we're going to have to bring that balance. That's when we're the most successful, is being able to get Jalen and OJ going and those backs, and don't put all the pressure on Davis. So we have to find our own niche, and that's where we need to be creative as coaches to be able to get that ball in two of our better players' hands than Jalen and OJ.
Now, JMU has won 4 consecutive one-score games. Typically, they don't play a lot of close games. In the FCS, they were dominating people until they got to the national championship. It was just about them and North Dakota State every year. Georgia Southern in 5 games has not played a one-score game yet. If you have to brace yourself for that kind of finish this weekend in a place where they don't lose very much, what more does that require from your team?
Yeah, it could be a little bit different. You know, we've been very fortunate in the fact of getting up 2, 3, 4, 5 scores, and that comes from our defense is better this year. It's getting off the field with third downs. It's producing more turnovers, and so we've been able to get up in games. This league is just going to get harder and harder as we go through this season. You know, and you look at these games, especially on the road with JMU, Marshall, App State, Texas State. We're going to have to do a great job of playing great late in games, because these games will get closer. And you look at JMU, they've won 4 games in a row by 7 points or less. They know how to finish, and so we have to be able to alter that.
Real quickly, earlier or later kick, which do you guys prefer?
Just put the ball down. It don't matter.
Coach, appreciate the time this week. Best of luck on travels to Harrisonburg this weekend. Let's come back 5-1 and 2-0 in conference play.
Yes, sir. Sounds great. Hail Southern.
For head coach Clay Helton, T.J. Smith, Sharon Perkins, and Chris Affolter back in network control. Danny Reed signing off from Wild Wing Cafe. We will talk to you this Saturday at Bridgeforth Stadium, 10 a.m. airtime, noon kick. You can watch on ESPN2, but you can listen right here on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield.
On the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered